porchway for branding. But if the doors are open,
Yeah.
we lose that effect. So actually having that kind of branded fascia as you walk in is quite impactful. But if the doors are
course.
left open, then we lose it.
Then won't. So you're proposing that it's just this outside, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Versus also this interior.
Yeah, that's an alternative, I think, or it could be everything.
Okay.
If it's everything, I think it's perhaps a little too much.
Yep. If they're videoing all this.
And looking at the way that Sergio has presented his work already, I think that the fascia on the glass here would be ideal. But we have to be aware that when the door is open, we momentarily lose the effect of the branding.
Okay. And it would be this or the door and above, right?
It would be both glass doors and the glass panel above here.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I'm a delegate who just arrived. Let's go. Go ahead. Okay. So artwork we can't touch.
No.
That's okay.
This is where it starts to get a little bit more difficult with brand placement. Because of the fabric texture of the walls, we can't put anything onto the walls, we can't touch any of the artworks. This is at the top now of our stairwell that leads down towards your executive dinner crystal room location.
Okay.
So we've made a recommendation that a purple carpet runner could be applied at this point, could run right the way down through the stairs. I think there's a discussion to be had around the logistics and the practicality of that.
Yeah.
But that would be the space that we would be able to apply brand. The alternative, or the addition to that, would be to flood this space with purple and blue uplighting to create that kind of colour scheme and effect throughout this entire stairwell.
Okay. Are you proposing for the purple carpet, like, where's it starting? Is it starting from this door all the way down?
Yeah, exactly. So currently we've made the allowance for it to run from the door to where we're currently stood, right the way down the stairwell.
To capture it. Okay. Let's take that journey.
Yeah, so if other people come from the left, we come through the bar, and then just threes.
Yes, so that's
On the left, just
sorry.
good.
That's the other door. Okay, thank you. So let's pretend I'm on a purple carpet.
Or you have the...
Does this lighting change at all? Is it
No, it doesn't change. Obviously, the brightness can change, but not the colors.
understood? And this is one area that we were exploring, I know, branding.
Correct,
Right
yeah.
here?
So we've got the marble tops, the handrails here, potentially an adhesive vinyl could attach on both the left and right hand sides on the way down here.
Okay.
I think, my opinion on this is that this is a very difficult shape
Right.
to apply branding, but could very simply apply a kind of colour or texture to this space. Honestly, I think it's a nice to have.
Right. Because we can't do anything to the wall, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Again, if you touch the wall is a fabric wall, it's not an event.
That's the fabric. Okay. Cool.
But
With the
actually
carpet-
flooded with purple light and with the addition of this white light here, we could create a really nice effect, particularly for the executive dinner.
Sure. What type of lighting are you proposing on
In here,
Yeah.
so it would be battery powered purple LED lights that sit on the floor
Okay.
and flood
Would go up.
the space.
Okay. And would the carpet expand from side to side, or is it just
It
how
could do
wide?
either. It could either be a single kind of 1.5 metre wide runner that goes the whole way down, or it could be full width.
Okay.
The determining factor there, I think, would be the budget.
Got it. Florals, do we touch? Are we allowed to play with this or no?
Yeah,
That's a question, James.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, sorry, I'll ask a more detailed question.
sure.
Can we replace those white orchids
Yes, you
with
can.
another arrangement? And can we
We-
place something on
We
the
can
table?
remove the vases if you want, and you can place whatever you'd like on top.
Great.
Or could we use the vases and ask the florist to create something?
Yeah, we can remove the orchids, and you can use the vases with other flowers.
Got it.
You've got in-house florists?
We don't. We obviously have preferred florists.
So they
that
could
is
come in
ideal.
and they could...
Yeah.
Okay. Understood. Great. But the table and the mirror would stay.
Yes.
Did you do any other signage here or directional signage or welcome or anything like that at this stage?
Yeah, you know what, for here, I think we have to, I would maintain a similar kind of human signage process. I mean, luckily here, you can't go anywhere but down the
And I feel
stairs.
like the carpet says a lot.
It does, I'm just, you know,
And
maybe
the great
it's a
thing
message.
is actually your first human touch point that isn't signage is right here.
Mhm.
So we're only asking people to come and make this 180-degree turn, and then you're going to be met with what I think will be an awesome site here at the bottom
Yeah.
of these stairs.
So I'm still on a carpet. We can consider too staging somebody if necessary, you know, either at the door, butler style, like welcome, and the person welcome, like,
Absolutely.
right.
I'm just saying it for Sergio, because he might come up with those questions. so
Yes,
not
please
that
ask
I'm-
away.
yeah.
No, that's
We're
good.
capturing everything. So the carpet's still going down here,
Yep.
correct? Aha, the camels.
I love the camels.
Favorite part. Okay, so I'm staying on the last step. I walk down, there's a space. We can put something in front of here, but
Yep, so here's the recommendation that we put our first, our living wall, our
Yep.
flower living wall.
cool.
And we're showing it with your fearless identity, but again, that identity could be changed out for either the Marketo brand,
Mhm.
it could be the event brand, it could even be your sponsor, key sponsor brand. But that would be here at this point, and this would be the first formal,
And I would make it Marketo, not sponsor.
Of
It's
course.
a Marketo event.
Of course.
So we're thinking like that. Okay.
this would be your first kind of formal registration point. So for
Mhm.
your guests who are arriving, this is where we check them in, and this is where we then point them onwards for the rest of their journey down into the crystal.
Are we concerned at all that we're going to bottleneck people here and the space? Like, should we be, I guess when I'm thinking of registration,
Yep.
and there's a flood of people arriving, and this is not, the space is clearly, we're all in it right now. But are we concerned at all about how many people are here? If there's a buildup, do we have a contingency for more people to check in at the next standpoint, or is it happening up there?
We could have, to avoid that as well, I mean, we've mentioned it before, we could have people that are staying, give them their badges already in there,
Mm-hmm.
but then you run the risk that they might not bring it down, that's the only
Right.
reason why we recommend to give it physically in their hand.
Absolutely agree with you.
rather than giving it to them in advance.
And I think once we start splitting out registration desks, we run that risk
Mhm.
again. So someone could slip through the net both times and get through without a badge. The one thing about one registration point is everyone almost has to go to it.
Mhm.
And I think it probably won't bottleneck as much as it could, given that it's a sporadic arrival.
Mm-hmm.
People obviously come for a certain time, but you'll always have people that will come early and will come late.
Right.
Especially as it's a drinks reception
Right.
or drinks in the beginning.
Right.
People will either come bang on, ready for it,
Right.
ready to party kind of thing, or you'll
Right.
have people that'll be like, oh, I'll just go straight to the dinner.
Right.
So,
Arrive fashionably late.
exactly.
I
Okay.
think with the setup of the type of registration we're doing as well with the key guides, our key guides almost basically with the PVC badges that we're doing, they're all pre-printed, it can even be clipped on as well with the lanyard as well in advance, they've got those step
Mhm.
things as well, so it's, you know, if we've got
And to
enough
help
people.
answer Megan's question, what is the potential of hold up here? Because if it is literally a case of can I take your name, there's your, is it
Mhm.
simply that?
Yeah,
There's no other
unless they.
data capture or registration capture at this point? So the exchange is very quick
It's
here.
just currently
Yeah,
just
it's
about,
just
Like-
I'm
isn't it?
Paul
Yeah.
and I'm replacing Rob, then we will have a printer, so then it would more
Okay.
be like, okay, come to this side, and then everybody
Right.
else, so we would definitely have people here who are managing the queuing system as well, or,
Okay.
you know, can I take your code while you're waiting or something,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
You can
the,
always take a
Global
business
room
card
is
at
just
that point
right
and ask them to
there,
come back,
yeah.
can't you?
or, yeah.
Okay, let's make note to just revisit that
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
So we're accounting for anyone who perhaps shows up with their suitcase, doesn't want to check into their hotel. What are we
Mhm.
doing with their bags? How are we bag tagging them?
We're going to the
How are we
room.
getting them immediately there? And then also, if there's an overage, training the hostesses or any other staff on if they don't have a lanyard, they aren't in. And it's not, you're out, it's, so sorry, what's your
Oh,
name?
of course,
Professionally,
yes, yeah,
give them their
yeah.
credentials, allow them to come in.
Yeah.
But from an infrastructure perspective, well, I certainly
Flower wall.
recommend the flower wall
Absolutely.
here would be
I agree.
epic. It's just whether we choose to put registration at this point or let's carry on. And
Let's.
the further
Yeah.
we go away from here, the closer you get to your cocktail hour.
I like that, and I don't want to take away, if we're making an opulent wall right here, and I'm sorry, I'm keeping this whole thing recording, so it's just
Yeah.
gonna kill me, because the angle is bad, I keep forgetting. Sorry. The whole wall, the flower wall, if we covered the whole thing, like, okay, so that's a security camera, right?
Yep.
How tall can, like, are we going floor to
I
ceiling,
think
or are we?
It's okay to block the camera.
It's okay,
We'll
Okay.
go as high as we
Great.
dare.
You can go up to the roof, yeah.
okay. And then for lighting here, it stays the same, correct? It's just,
It's just
The brightness.
The brightness, yeah.
Got
The
it.
color unfortunately doesn't change.
okay.
But we continue with our purple flooding,
Yeah.
LED uplighters to create.
Come down here, so the purple carpet's coming down the stairs.
Yep.
It's covering this area,
Yep.
and
And
then
it takes us.
Just to answer that question as well, James, if people were to come in with luggage here, if they don't want to go to their room first,
Yeah.
do we have the option of taking it either to the cloakroom here or for someone to take it up to their room? Or if they haven't checked in yet, do you
We
still
can
need them?
we can certainly store it in the cloakroom here.
Perfect.
Or yeah, I'm sure we could take it up to concierge and they can arrange for it to be dropped to the room. But if they haven't been checked in yet,
Checked
they
in, then
probably
it's
won't be
usually-
allocated a
yeah.
room number as
Yep.
yet, so it's a bit
Okay.
difficult.
let's keep it there. Okay, so the purple carpet continues.
Yep.
Follow the purple carpet, bring in the yellow road.
So this is the cloakroom. Again, functional, but we have shown on the branding plan that there's the possibility to apply identity to the bottom half of the door. The top half obviously remains open for the exchange of coats and whatnot. But we have a spare piece of wall space here where a freestanding welcome piece of signage could be applied here. Because really this is the first opportunity we've had to put some kind of functional
On a wall.
welcoming signage.
But we also have this,
We have a
monitor.
digital screen wall,
Right.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
okay.
That could also be anything, really.
I feel like if we do just this wall,
Yeah,
it just feels disconnected to me. If the purple carpet's coming down, the Fearless is there, it's like, why are we branding just half a door?
yeah,
Yeah.
really,
You know what I mean?
I really don't see that as an essential.
No.
I don't
And
either.
to be honest, it's not even really a nice to have.
No, it's just so, my question would be like, they just put something up on a wall, but there's all, sorry, Serge, there's all this wall that we're not even touching. And why are we, like, we don't need to make it seem like it's, you know, when you're getting off the plane and you're walking, I'm failing on the name, the tunnel off the plane to get into the airport.
Yeah, flight bridge.
Thank you. There's often the advertisements that you'll see from HSBC or whomever,
Yeah.
and it's like, you're in the tunnel or you're in
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and it works in certain areas, but I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't see if we're not doing it on
Yeah.
all touch points, it doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
I
couldn't
think it
agree
would
more.
just look nice with uplighters and just a bit of colour
Yeah.
and nothing too fast.
Something that's still like, ooh, what comes next? Like, I want to naturally explore.
And if you do have something on there, you might end up confusing people coming down thinking they have to go there when
Correct.
they don't. So that might
Correct.
be another way to
I'd
say
almost
that.
rather like another almost hostess or someone there like monitoring this and
Yeah,
figuring
we'll
out.
just like knobs then,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Okay. So then this.
So this,
This is
I
gonna
see
be
these as
Brandon.
being the next big opportunity,
Yes.
perhaps to repeat a similar design to that of the Berkeley Street entrance.
Mhm.
So again, in our original concept, we talked here about using the portholes
Mhm.
as the opportunity to brand and perhaps the vertical red infill panels.
Yeah.
But actually a revised option might be to repeat the styling that we've applied upstairs using the doors, the opening doors branding on the actual door
Excellent.
fascias themselves.
Could I ask you a favor? I'm going to take over the videoing, and if you don't mind just taking pictures all this along the way.
So I guess you
We've
mean
got a stack load of these photos
Perfect.
available as well.
Great.
almost like
Do
this.
it again.
Well, you see, that's the thing as well, because here's a question, Megan, it's an important question. If we keep the doors closed to maximise the brand opportunity, does it start to feel a bit contained for your guests when they arrive versus an open door? We can still apply the brand, of course, to an open door, but it would literally just be a case of using the left and the right-hand sides here to apply that vinyl brand.
To me, it's. Can we not explore playing with both sides?
Absolutely.
And can we
Yeah.
also explore that what that impact looks like? Because I think there's that element of surprise. Like when you're opening up a present, what's inside?
Yeah, yeah.
Keeping the doors closed generates more intrigue.
Yeah.
However, if there's a ton of people, you're not gonna be like, nope, sorry, gotta keep it closed, gotta keep it open, right? So
Lose
it's
that
still
momentum.
generating like what keeps me interested when they're closed.
Yeah.
And if they are open, what still has an impact that
I
is
love the
going
idea
on?
that they remain closed, but I would definitely recommend that we had somebody here to open the door for
One
guests.
100%. This is VIP treatment. You come to the hotel, the first thing you guys do
And-
is
and
open
not,
the door.
Not security guys.
Nope.
I mean, sort
That
of
hipster
hostess.
butler.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost like when you mentioned the airport idea, and it's almost like, you know, have people
Yeah.
in uniform sort of like, excuse me, you come this way, you come this way.
Like, welcome.
It's almost, yeah,
Yeah.
like personal service.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I guess you do want to create that wow factor when you walk down the stairs and you see, the room is beautifully dressed and everything.
Yeah, you're kind of spoiling that moment.
Yeah.
Think of the same way your staff is entirely trained. I walk into the hotel and there's 5 people like, can I help you? And it's not
It's almost a bit
bombarding.
overwhelming.
If they're all asking me at once,
Yeah.
but if you strategically place them at these touch points, right?
Yeah.
So like in that corner is the registration, right? So
Yeah.
by the camels. Coming down, there's different people that act naturally and organically as human arrows that
Yes.
keeps us from tactily being like, no, turn left, turn right, go
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
right?
It's a much nicer experience to
Yes.
arrive with that interaction
Absolutely.
than a bus stop sign.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's continue
And
through.
we've got the toilets here as well, just in case if you wanted to know where they are.
Toilets.
Good to know.
Sergio, just in
Minus
case.
that.
Yes. All right.
So immediately on
And
the
also
left
the
and right hand
experience.
side here, we have 2 mirrors, which are ideal spaces. And again, we've updated our conceptual artwork to show how your branded artwork might very easily be applied to the 2 mirrors on either side.
Love that. And forgive me, is the purple carpet still rolling down?
Yeah, it is. It's either rolling to the door here, and perhaps we're using this upper stair section as an adhesive vinyl on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own opinion on the floor vinyls. It's always tough when you're asking people to walk over things,
Yeah.
and I think you have to be quite sensitive as to how you want to position the branding when you're
Yeah.
asking people to walk over something.
Absolutely.
So I think we could quite easily continue the carpet here,
Yep.
or cut it off at this point and then move
Yep.
into a new experience.
Cool. Okay.
There was also talk about using the purple adhesive footsteps at this point to come down.
I don't like it.
Good. I'm glad you
Yeah.
said that. Because
I really don't
we've
like
done-
it. I feel like
Wonderful.
this isn't a kid's
Yeah.
playground.
Absolutely.
There's no need. Can we do uplighting here again?
Absolutely. We can
So
continue
so
that
that
the whole way
purple
through. And the
ambiance.
cost allowance that we've made
Mhm.
is for the entire welcoming journey, right the way to the crystal room, to be uplit the
Excellent.
whole way.
Excellent. Okay, so nothing on these walls, but if we're on the carpet, it's going down.
So the partition moves. It's just drawn for
Closed
today.
at the moment,
Yes.
so this is there any way we could,
Um,
so
Yeah.
that wall's normally not in place, that's the partition wall
Got it.
basically, that is.
So, quick question,
Open it.
before you open it, James, quick question.
I think I'm gonna open it.
I know we've talked about not having this wall here,
Mm-hmm.
right? But having some sort of partition to not expose everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still exploring that? And if so, what does it look like if it's not this wall?
Well, I haven't actually seen this wall in yet, and this only holds 70 people, so this area wouldn't be big enough
Okay.
if we were to put just hoses
Got it.
down
So this
here.
area is not
It
for
would,
the
we would have to go further out anyway.
Got it.
Um,
So this isn't the whole cocktail space.
it can hold a bit more than 70 feet.
could you get 150 in here?
Not 150. I'm thinking
Okay.
one.
So it's not large enough for 150 people. Just check.
Well, I'm going to move it now if you want.
Yeah, let me know. Is that as easy as that? But another, yeah, I was just thinking, you know how we're still struggling with the 6 sponsor, not the sponsor, but the executive roundtables.
Oh, I have another
Do you
solution.
think? Oh, you have. Okay.
Yes, but no, talk to me about it.
No, I just thought maybe we could use this area too if we keep this closed because you've got its own entrance on the side.
Yeah.
So if we put this in, it's not amazing because as you can see, it's all, you know, closed off and
Okay.
it would be quite close together. So I don't know whether that would work if they are this close together.
So we can actually have part of the partition up and down, so you could have just the middle
Can
part.
you?
Yes.
Can you show me
Just
what that
have
looks
these
like?
three panels.
Can you show me what that looks like?
Yeah, I'll just have to play with it, but
You're doing great.
One of the practical challenges that we have here is that this space will not fit 150 people.
How many though? Because at once it's that fluidity. Not
Well,
everyone's at once, you know?
Honestly, I think you'd be struggling to comfortably fit more than 70 or 80 people with enough room for waiting staff to come through with trays of
Absolutely.
drinks. And when we discuss some of the kind of sponsor experiential ideas that we've had, potentially bringing in a mixologist experience, that would take up a little bit of space as well. So I think it's unrealistic to not suggest that people are already going to have to go into the crystal
room.
room
That's
during the
fine.
cocktail hour.
That's fine. I think we just have to get clever with how we're sanctioning spaces. Can we decorate these panels?
what does that?
Can we decorate these panels?
Yeah.
Because if there's 3 open and you're proposing that we decorate, if we go back up,
Those mirrors.
and if we decorate those mirrors,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And if so I'm gonna go back up. If I am coming down, and the doors open, right? Voila, I see the chandelier, I'm seeing something to my left, I'm seeing something to my right. I walk down the purple carpet. And if I continue down the purple carpet, what I would almost wonder is, can we move the panels in the middle enough to be branded more with
Yep.
fearless
Yep.
imagery?
Yep.
Like, again, pulling from that concept of it's Cannes Film Festival, or
Yeah,
Toronto
yeah.
Film Festival, something
Yep.
that's just got the movie style poster that's like big impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Which could also be used as an alternative to your step and repeat photographic backdrop.
Yeah.
So we could even put a small semicircular purple carpet in front of that, and it becomes a little kind of photo opportunity for people to be
Yeah.
photographed on their arrival.
I like that idea of it's not a traditional step and repeat, because I still need to explore what the step and repeat look like, but I like this better. This is more experiential. This is
Yep.
thinking outside the norm. So sorry, Sergio. Give you a better idea. If I'm walking down, I see the chandelier. There's one entryway into this room where the dinner will occur. But then this wall, we can completely decorate. And to Dom's point, we can even use as a photo opportunity, get clever with how we want to showcase our executive dinner sponsors and their logo, because that's an inclusion we need to think about. But I like the way that this is still blocking this and creating intrigue. So it's not capturing everyone here for the cocktail hour, but it is like, it's still creating that next step, like what's coming next. And what does, sorry, this door just closes?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the door
there's
to
just
the.
a panel
Okay.
away.
That's okay, I just want to be sure we're capturing all of it.
And then this is the bar.
So this is going to be where drinks are served. Okay,
And that's the bar where we said we potentially do some here.
and the mixologist can be stationed here as well to help save on space, right? Instead of setting up another specialty bar.
Would be behind this bar.
Potentially yes, potentially yes. I think we need to discuss how that works.
Yeah. So what was this? Sorry, the mixologist. This was during the drinks reception.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, potentially. So we're going to talk with Megan about an idea that we have to make it a really clever interactive cocktail experience during the cocktail hour.
Yeah.
We could use this space. The proposal at the moment is that we would have more than one mixology cocktail experience. And currently the proposal is 3 different bars,
Mm-hmm.
so you can have a different experience at each.
Mm-hmm.
The other question is, functionally, does this bar get used by your banqueting team for drinks?
Yeah. So this would be a dispense bar for the dinner.
Yeah,
But we do have portable black bars that we can set up if you did want to, and you're welcome to use them.
Yeah.
On your trip.
So we've got a couple of good options. But
Even
essentially,
space-wise as well, if this space.
yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that our partners would be more than happy to use this bar space.
So if we have one mixologist here, because if we think of the menu for the dinner, it's past. Actually, I need to look at the menu for the cocktail reception. I know we still need to figure that. I know it's past canapes, but in terms of drinks, are we just passing out sparkling wine?
That's how we currently got it. We had the margarita.
The margarita was it?
Proposed as well, but
Got
obviously
it.
that can come out if you're going to have a mixologist. That's
Okay.
And then we, as you mentioned, in regards to wine, people usually prefer to drink wine with their meal, so.
Correct.
We've left that out as a.
Perfect.
Correct me if I'm wrong, as to in the initial proposal. So there is proper champagne included at the moment and a cocktail, which of course in the Asian experience is going to be different. And then we've got the 12 suggested canapes, which is a package, but of course we can narrow that down to 6
Yeah.
or 8.
Yeah.
And that will be passed.
Okay. In terms of the space, real quick, before I forget, these plants would stay, correct?
They would stay, yes.
Okay. They would stay directly in front of the mirrors, right?
We can move them around within the room.
Okay.
They're very heavy, but we can definitely move them sort of within the room.
And can we decorate these mirrors or the
Yeah.
wall on the side?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if we're looking at this area where Dom is, this is one opportunity. And then I like this wall concept of the divider.
Certainly recommend if we looked at applying additional branding here on the rear wall, I'd recommend that we use the mirrors.
Mhm.
That provides us with the most stable, solid surface to apply something to.
Mhm.
This is a bit
It's not very, like,
textured.
vinyl friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so definitely the mirrors.
Okay. But if we had the mirrors and if we're playing with a bunch of millennials, and this is an opportunity for them to potentially take selfies in front of, if there's a big backdrop
Yeah, absolutely.
behind them, like,
Yep, absolutely.
Suggestion, if we have this in,
Yeah.
which is all in, are you confident we can fit the tables in for having to be spinning over?
Yeah, absolutely.
and then these hooks above the mirrors, can we like drape something over? Can we, sorry, these hooks?
You've got me. I have no idea what they're usually used for, but you're welcome to use them for whatever you want.
Thanks. Careful. God knows where we'll go with that one.
Don't say that.
I have no idea what they could be used for usually.
Okay.
Maybe they are first.
Well, they're hooks.
The kind of recommendation I might make there would be that we,
If we draped something?
yeah, put drapes
Yeah. Okay.
either side of each one. We could use all three hooks to create a horizontal rigging point, and then we
Yeah.
apply decorative drapes to either side of the mirrors. It almost makes it look as though there are three doorways leading off
Exactly.
into-
If we're
Other-
playing with the concept of doors and
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
brand refresh features a lot of those doors, how do we again expand the space and just that concept of fearless? Like, what door do you open next? Almost. I mean,
Mm.
a little cheesy, but you know what I mean.
No, absolutely.
Exactly. It's Christmas one minute, we're
Yeah,
exploring
yeah.
doors the next. Okay.
But yeah, I like the idea of having the 3 panels as well. It does add that bit of,
Yeah.
you know,
And
what's
sorry.
behind the wall kind of thing, and
So
more opportunity to brand.
yes. So I'm counting 4.
Yeah.
I'm counting 4 as well,
Okay,
but
good.
we could go with 3 on the night.
Got it. But we could do 4 if we
You
wanted.
could do as many as you want,
Amazing.
or as little as you want.
Thank you.
I think we go for.
Okay. These pillars, do we leave alone, right?
Yes.
You can't.
They don't move.
They don't move, but in terms of branding, can we? I'm like,
You can wrap them, yeah.
we can wrap them, but
so
it
people
might.
quite often wrap them.
We'd have to wrap them with a Fomex wrap, I suppose.
Yeah.
We could, but my question is it necessary if, so the carpet's not changing, the color of the pillar itself isn't. Sergio, this graphic on the wall and everything, like, I feel like there's something special about, like, you don't want to cover all the red and all the things that are organically here. That just looks cheesy.
No, and it's a really difficult balance to do that when you have a room that's decorated in such a way. To try and hide the decoration of the room is a very, very difficult thing to achieve.
And we're playing in the space. We're not completely transforming it, right? We're elevating it and showing that we're here, but
And I think that we can really successfully use the magic of lighting effects. Again, using the LED uplighters to flood the room in purple colour.
yeah.
And then accentuating it with the ceiling lights and the chandeliers and broken up lighting effects across all the tables. Floral table centres and picking up the colour on the table centres. That's
the added. Okay. And those mirrors too, we can move those plants a little bit.
We want to sort of move within the room, just so it's not blocking the mirror, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely they stay in the room, no problem. Same hook. Okay.
We've had one for drinks reception before, and it is semi-tight.
So Sergio, I'm counting 1, 2 pillars in the back. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 pillars on the side. And then 1 extra pillar in the middle here. So for these pillars here too,
Yep.
we can potentially wrap them.
Yeah, we would. We'd use a 4-panel Fomex, which is a solid board.
Yep.
Full height, I'd recommend.
Okay.
We could use those.
Cool.
So would the tables go up to where these pillars are? Or they start going past the pillars?
I think you'd probably have one. I can draw you guys up a floor plan, but you'd probably have one here, but all keeping. This would probably be the only one, and then all the rest in there.
Okay.
The rest of it. around there.
And how many, is it a 10 top, 8 top? Sorry. How are we?
Have a tent to a table.
We would say 10 to a table. We can do 12 on a 6 foot, but 10 is comfy.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I get some elbow room. Okay, and all the rounds would be in the middle.
There's plenty of rooms to get.
So it would obviously be 15 tables, and I can draw you up a floor plan.
That'd be great.
I'm assuming you just need a stage at the front here for any speakers, or no?
I feel like stages are often tacky.
Okay.
To be honest, the only time I ever would use them would be at like a wine festival where
Sure.
you've got 500 people in attendance.
Sure.
It's an intimate dinner with 150 people. So what I would wonder then, again, playing with the concept of lighting, not to put the spotlight on Steve, but is there a space that we can put him in front of people? Because there'll be light speeches made by the 2 sponsors.
Sure.
And then Steve. We don't want to make it into a mini keynote.
No.
For me, a stage represents that.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure.
I would
Keep
rather
it informal and-
welcome to Marcato's party. You were all selected and personally invited to this experience. Keep it like
Where
that.
are those? Is there any building?
Sorry?
Is there any building projectors?
Yeah, so the 2 screens come down right here. You can see the
okay.
whole, and you can see
Oh,
the
is that
projectors
right?
come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
So what
looking
we're
for this big thing.
recommending for that actually is that potentially we could use the projectors. So the projectors
Yeah.
are located up in the ceiling. What we'd recommend is that we're not using the screens.
Yep.
What we would do is we would pick identity, whether it's the Fearless identity, whether it's the Marketo identity, the sponsor identity, whether it's animated, rolling, stills image, but we just project the light directly onto the wall space here. So we're not bringing the screens down. We're avoiding, to your point, the keynote feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're just projecting onto the wall. It's very simply done. You do a black background and you pick
Yeah.
out the white and it just projects the white.
I like that.
It's subtle, it
Yeah.
can move, it can be animated, we can help with that, and it could be used just at the point when Steve and your sponsors are talking, and then we just subtly turn it all off.
Yeah.
Back to party again.
Cool.
That's what I'd recommend.
I like that. Classy, not tacky.
Yeah.
Cool.
But typically that's the space there that would be used for any staging or speaking.
Okay.
It's in the middle of the room. It's not obscured by any of the pillars.
Right.
Everybody has the very best view of whomever's speaking.
Right.
We would put a very subtle sound system in here and allow your speakers either to use a handheld microphone or a tight clip microphone, just so that they're heard across the room.
Yep.
And we would be able to put a little bit of lighting in that we literally just turn up and turn down when there are people there, so
Yep.
that they're well lit, particularly for people who want to take photographs, etc.
Got it. Okay.
What's that big sign over there?
Sorry.
Oh,
That's the
between the
speaker.
mirrors.
That is a speaker.
Speaker.
Right.
Okay. Good to
There's
know.
one over there too. It looked like a nice frame. You can put somebody in.
Oh, yeah. Good show.
Nope. Wouldn't frame it.
No. Okay. I'm going to take a quick pause on filming.